Hey guys, Tyler here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Faymonville Approach, playing for spawning on the left. We have Mr. Blue Sky. Please tell us why. His OKW and his loadout is Special Operations, Elite Armor, and Overwatch. Missing offense him on the right. We have amPredator as the Soviets, who has Tank Hunter Tactics, Guard Rifle Combined Arms, and Advanced Warfare. In terms of ranks, amPredator rank 99, Soviets, and Mr. Blue Sky 133 as OKW. Here we go, he's getting stuck in with Stern Pioneers, charging onto the fuel. Strips do a little bit of damage on approach, but at this range, Stern Pioneers really taking over. We do have a squad of conscripts coming in to support, but having trouble getting an angle. Didn't quite have the munitions for an Uri to get in there with that squad either, so now also in a tricky spot, came a little bit too far forwards to engage these Stern Pioneers. Maybe should have stayed behind the heavy cover. And now squad jumping into the building behind. Stern Pioneers finally get forced away, but they really got value out of that engagement. Basically 2v1ing those squads of conscripts. And meanwhile we have the Kubel off doing capping on the other side of the map. So Mr. Blue Sky getting off to a really strong start. Stern Pioneers really doing good value in the early game. Double conscripts making their way back out onto the fuel. Squad's going to take cover behind the light cover bushes here. The other squad going to stay out of combat. It might be worth just bringing them into combat, even if he switches targets to that squad. It's still like a 2v1. Shouldn't be too bad in terms of bleed. But it looks like the fuel is going to be secured. Stern Pioneers coming in behind this, but don't actually come forwards to engage. And amPredator lacking in munitions at the moment. Still quite far away from a flamethrower, which is generally quite important when you're going for these conscript openings, getting a flamethrower online early. So he's behind the heavy cover here. Oh, incendiary grenade, very early tech going down from Mr. Blue Sky with only 2 folks in a Kubel. Also put some sandbags down, extra layer behind the cutoff here. Loses control of that cutoff. Another squad of conscripts coming in from the side after taking quite a lot of damage from the Kubel. And these conscripts also seem to be fighting a inevitably losing battle here. Oh, these ones getting chopped down. Man, this conscript start is not going well for amPredator. A lot of bleed early on. When you bleed this much, hard to fit medics into your build. Generally this is around the time you might consider getting medics. But he's just having to spend everything on reinforcements right now. Though generally the conscript engagements have been just a tiny bit suboptimal. Oh, and we got Molotovs actually from amPredator. And that forces away both those squads there. Gonna finally branch out to the munitions. Molotovs, I think, they're okay, but they're not optimal. I generally think trying to get a double flamethrower build going is a more effective way of playing, at least in the early game, and then maybe you take Molotovs late once you've got your T70 or something already. because they are very easy to avoid. Wind up on them is quite long. Don't really rely on them that much. Maybe if you're trying to deny garrisons, they're alright. Oh, late retreat. Oh, no retreat. Let's go down there. We have an MG34 moving over now though. Conscript's doing quite a lot of damage to the Kubel, but they also have a tough retreat past the Stern Pioneer and the Volksgrenadier squad. Mr. Blue Sky, if he was considering going for the flak half track, could have just not rebuilt. The Volksgrenadiers there, but it looks like maybe he isn't doing that. But it would be worth considering when you've got this kind of lead. amPredator does have like one of the best counters to the flak half track, the tank hunter PTRSs, but it's been seeing so many munitions on those Molotovs. Doesn't have enough for a PTRS upgrade. Going for a tier 2 build here now. But yeah, as I mentioned, he's been bleeding so much, been having trouble fitting medics into his build. Going for a Maxim now. Lost control of the munitions as well. Looks like finally a flamethrower upgrade coming in for amPredator. These are the exact kind of scenarios we really need it, like charging into a squad behind heavy cover. There it goes. Just in the nick of time for this engagement. Now I can also head up to deal with Volksgrenadiers after that. But yeah, if you consider... yeah. Oh, yeah, I've already said my feelings on Molotovs. They're okay, but... I generally think you should get them after the T-70 unless you're really trying to deny a lot of buildings. Could come in handy here. Oh, that coup was running around on like 1 pixel of health. Finally goes down. Has to get out of there. Threat of the Molotov forcing him out. Using the merge on the comm engineers, it's nice to see. So yeah, when you're going for these conscript builds, often in the early game they are your big source of DPS, the flamethrower. And using merge to keep them on the battlefield is the optimal way to play. And then in the late game, you know, you can upgrade your conscripts with PPSHs to keep them relevant. Have to be aware, you know, PPSHs do cost 60 now, so need to be a little bit conservative with your munitions if you want to upgrade. If you want to get flamethrowers as well as upgrade PPSHs, which is another reason why Molotovs may not be that worthwhile. Looks like Mr. Blue Sky actually going for a mechanized HQ after that very quick battle group. Now transitioning into a Puma. amPredator still hasn't got medics. Feel like that's probably a higher priority than the mortar. Whilst it might be quite annoying facing the machine gun in the building, you know, to some extent. It's best to get the medics a little bit earlier. Try to conserve your manpower. More a little bit later on. Layout of the wire wars. As you can see, sandbags kind of require 2 layers of wire to fully block the cover. Next manages to get this suppression in, and once again another Molotov pretty easily avoided. Here comes the Puma. No AT grenades, but we do have a ZIS already. And also if you've got assist, you can use the assist barrage instead of hitting a mortar as well. Long assaults into the building. Once again, Molotov narrowly avoided. This TG squad coming in from the side. Maxim changing its angle to cover. Or the squad could go down. Okay, luckily that squad gets suppressed in the 2 health, or 2-man low health. Squad manages to escape. Maxim also takes a beating from that incendiary grenade. Still no medics. You really see the accumulation of not having medics throughout this entire game. Let's head on amPredator. Really strapped for manpower. Going down to tier 3 now. But yeah, medic probably would have paid for themselves by now. We got them earlier. Because he's so low in munitions, doesn't really need to select a commander right now. Because he doesn't have enough to get any PPSHs anyway. Doesn't need to go tank hunters either, the vehicles haven't been an issue. Didn't go for looks or the flak half track, so options are open for amPredator. Meanwhile, Mr. Blue Sky, after having such a dominant start to the match, starting to lose control of the game. You know, hasn't gone for another squad of Volksgrenadiers, floating a lot with his manpower. And the Puma, you know, can fight infantry okay, but it's not excellent at it. So it's just not providing that much impact in terms of map control. And with amPredator having so many units now, it's starting to outscale Mr. Blue Sky. Oh, he's going for an infantry support gun. Very strong option on this map, very compact. And just like jam around here, covers most of the map. Have to avoid on Faymonville. It's just rotating.
Comrades, we have now installed a field hospital at headquarters.
Try and line up a shot here. Being at a safe distance. Puma didn't do much damage, took like one model basically off each of these squads. Nice to pull back for repairs again. Is that a mortar flare? I think that's both a mortar flare and a artillery flare. Following that artillery flare, and comes the infantry support barrage, softening up the Maxim. Medics up now for amPredator, but a couple of very low health squads working their way onto the field. Oof. Ouch, that was an expensive engagement. Supani's, you've had a nice angle there. Ooh, and the ISG chipping in. Some good damage. We're going back out. This has rotated around back to the middle. Should be able to find an angle. Does indeed get one shot in on the Puma. 7 kills though on that. It's performing pretty well, especially because a lot of these squads haven't been on full health because of no medics until now. So there's actually notched up a pretty good kill count for a Puma. Okay, getting some tripwire flares going down. Always a nice option if you've got a little bit of spare time. Yeah, pretty cheap to just knock off one model. Get some sight. Reaper squad out here. Spots the mine, diffuses it nicely. Ooh, but that was a big mortar shell.
Supply sector.
This barrage into the center. Forcing them out of cover. Infantry support gun once again going to work on these support weapons in the center though. Oof. There's some big hits and conscripts coming in from the side. And this gets a good hit in. Looks like Mr. Blue Sky did go for one more fault screen, but you know, he got that out quite late. Still floating a huge amount of manpower. Merging into the Zist, try and keep it on the battlefield. But yeah, Mr. Blue Sky kind of... Oh, yeah, I was going to say... Oh, did he just lose a squad?
Supply sector under attack.
Where did that go down? Did I see that on camera? I don't think I did. Trying to oorah around the side of the machine gun. Look at that gun traverse. Not quite quick enough. Let me switch from targets over here to all the way over here.
Guard rifle infantry squads can now be called to fight for the motherland. Conscripts can
Not
now
gaining
begin.
much territory on the back of it.
Access to additional battlefield
With
options.
another infantry support gun. Not a bad idea. Yeah, I talk about this many times, but sometimes the double infantry support gun is just so much more effective, especially against Soviet weapon teams. Those 6-man squads are so much more durable. The double infantry support gun can just chew through them that much more rapidly. Actually inflict some damage rather than just forcing them to move. You can actually force them back to reinforce
We are losing
and
territory.
heal. A little bit of friendly fire from the infantry support gun there. Just trying to find an angle on the Puma. Puma hiding nicely behind the trees. amPredator losing control of the fuel. Let's look at the commander going for guard rifle combined arms. Now branching out to fight the squad off that's on his fuel point. Ooh, big shell from the mortar. Making all the difference in that engagement. And KV1 in production for amPredator. Mr. Blue Sky about 1 1/4 CPs away. Ooh, another big shell from their mortar. That thing's
Sector is at risk.
having a field day. Mr. Blue Sky now 1 command point away from the Command Panther. Yeah, this is ideally a point in time where if you're using conscripts you'd have at least like 2 squads upgraded with PPSHs. That way you can kind of like 1v1 their squads, especially if you use oorah rather than having to think about your engagements a lot more carefully. Just charge them in. Which maybe would have been affordable if so many Molotovs hadn't been thrown.
80 grenades now available to all conscripts.
Molotovs are, you know, I'd say a little bit better against Ossia, especially if you need to force machine guns, like team weapons and whatnot, to run away. But yeah, against OKW in the early game, I think it's not the best. Here comes the KV, and no anti-tank gun from Mr. Blue Sky. That Command Panther coming in shortly. I'm actually on the other side of the map though. But Command Panther quickly comes onto the battlefield. Mr. Blue Sky taking a few casualties. Accelerating the command point clock. Very important now to keep the KV escorted. Right, is this? Oh, gets a rearm hidden on the Command Panther there. Just rotating. The T-grenades have been ticked for the conscripts. A lot of bounces. A lot of bounces from the KV, and there's this. Ooh, close engagement. The conscript's been Vet 3 there. Managed to hold the line. Double infantry support guns going to work on these weapon teams. Oh, ooh, that could have been a wipe. Health damage from those infiltration grenades. Only getting one model though. And only one squad of engineers for repairs at the moment for amPredator. Oh, infiltration grenades on the Zis. Might actually get the D crew? No. Close call though. Definitely wants to keep the Vet 2 rate of fire bonus. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I think so. I saw some munitions go away. We're getting PPSHs finally. amPredator's gonna have to be careful with his Zis positioning. Can't afford to lose it. Aim shot there from the Puma. Was back. Might be worth leaving the mortar team back in base to heal up for a little bit. That way these models won't go down so quickly to the double infantry support guns. Oh, a little bit of smoke into the middle, opening up the capture. DPs are not too far in either player's favour right now, so no immediate panic. Ooh, nice infiltration grenades through the smoke. Both of them stalling out on the points. And the KV-1 is kind of just like a much more safe option than getting a T-34. Nice wipe. PPSH is coming in clutch there. Also forcing away squads on the flanks now as well. You're much more safe of an option, you know, if you get ambushed by a Raketen, you know, maybe it can bounce some shells. Similarly, the Command Panther can't just bully it. So even though it's, you know, a bit of a dumb idiot, it's like doesn't really do that much anti-infantry damage. Overall performance is not that big. It is quite hard to kill, especially in these 1v1 scenarios, and that counts for a lot. Especially as your first tank, and if you're slightly behind, you don't want to be losing it to a bum rush. Which could easily lose you the game following it. Support guns spot that mine going down and knock it out.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Walking Stuka coming in now. Mr. Blue Sky. This is a risky one. Already has double infantry support guns. That's a huge investment into indirect fire. I think too much of an investment, honestly. Might lose some map control on the back of this. Doesn't really have that many squads for capping, honestly. good super barrage though, clears out the mortar, does a lot of health damage, 11 kills. Look at these PPSHs. Vet 3 bonuses just in here doing the damage. So resilient. Just backing this up as well. Even though these guys are behind heavy cover, still doing the damage. amPredator now in a pretty good position. He gets an SU-85 right now. He's sitting pretty. SU-85 can easily zone out these two vehicles, especially with the focus sight. This blue sky doesn't have any reconnaissance, keep the SU-85 honest. And yeah, it doesn't quite have enough squads to cap up the map. He's invested a little bit too much into indirect fire. It's not like amPredator's got like 3 maxims or anything as well. He's only got 2 or 3 support weapons really. The double infantry support gun should be enough to keep that under control.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
So he's going to put down his next tech truck. Good idea. Conscript's so resilient to the Stern Pioneers. Flares up. Trying to target the Zis with the 2 support guns. Walking Stuka ready to fire again as well. Hard to avoid those flares on this small map. Covers such a huge area. Bring up the tech, covering the fuel over there. In comes the Walker Stuka Rush. Must be targeting the Maxim. Right as he recruits the mortar, looks like he loses it again. Here comes the Panther going after the KV. This is coming in from the other side. Conscript's there with threat of the AT grenade. This bounces. It connects. AT grenade coming in. KV gets out of range. I think one more shot might have killed it as well, thanks to the Command Panther damage bonus that he applied with the coordinated fire. Puma comes in for a smoke to cover the Command Panther's escape. It's just now hitting Vet 3. Yeah, bonus penetration. Makes a big difference against the Panthers. Puma's still in here. That's a dangerous game he's playing. Dangerous and stupid game. Loses it there. Once the smoke wore off, it's just got 2 shots in AT grenade with one extra bit of follow up. And here's the SU-85. That Command Panther's days might be numbered, and the SU-85 also a good siege unit against this tier 4 tech. Could just pop it over here or something, just blast away. Is this supporting shooting in this direction? Scripts running around the side. Oh, don't quite make it. I'll try crawl. Might have been able to hit the dirt from like around this position. Or the suppression. Still would have been effective enough at that range. I want to go for the UR around the side, understandable. Yeah, big armor advantage now for amPredator. See if he can capitalize on it before Blue Sky gets another tank from his tier 4. And you can see Blue Sky is struggling to hold on to the map. Only 2 Volks squads for capping. Doesn't quite go down. Ooh, speaking of going down, there goes that Volkscreen squad. KV finally gets a good hit in. Hits Vet 2 as well. Panther just about back up to full, but it's taken a long time. In the meantime, KV going for the kill. Good to see amPredator as well, getting a second squad of combat engineers, faster repairs for the minesweeping as well. Definitely necessary. Okay, they're coming over, but H-35 is following. Coming in for support. And with no Raketans, KV feeling pretty safe. So much health. Good amount of armor as well. H-35 on the chase down a little bit. Is it pulling back? Now I've got Obus. It's a tough time Obus to be fielded though. Going to be fighting against a lot of PPSH conscripts on Vet 3. They're going to really struggle until they get Vet 2 themselves. Look at that. Beat down. It's actually maybe a time to consider going for the STGs on your Obersoldaten. So the thing with PPSH conscripts is they don't mind taking a model or two bleed, and they can oorah to close the distance, so the LMG is not quite as effective. Whereas the STGs will mean they'll perform a lot better after the conscripts have closed the distance. Might be a more relevant upgrade in this scenario. H-35 trading blows with the Command Panther. KV-1 is right there as well. Stuka Barrage does a lot of damage to the team weapons, but no wipes once again. H-35 blasting away, hits Vet 2. And then switching back to targeting the HQ after that. KV coming in as well. Command Panther coming back in. This is a risky one. Ooh, Command Panther gets a good shot in long range. Going in for the kill, but the SU fires first but misses. KV going in for the kill though. Command Panther's a bit quicker. Hits the munitions for Blitz right now. Just hit it. KV needs one more shot to penetrate but misses the killing blow. Meantime, conscripts doing something over here. Might go down. Forgotten about them. He's sticking around, trying to get the revenge kill on the tier 4 tech. And it's going to go down with the next shot. He'll end up losing that squad of PPSH conscripts though. KV now needs to escape, but squad coming in to intercept with the Faust. If the Command Panther gets repaired up enough, could come back in and get the kill. Oh, but fresh H-35 already from amPredator. This could go quite poorly for the Command Panther, especially if the KV bounces a shot or two. Here comes the Command Panther chasing in. Penetrates that first shot. But I think the KV needs 2 more shots to go down here. And the Command Panther misses. H-35 on chase down. H-35 just needs 1 more shot to land, I'm pretty sure. Oh, but it bounces the killing blow. Panther, no, gets away. Obers go down and drop the LMG, however. We do have 1 squad of conscripts with no weapon upgrade. They could grab hold of this. Stuka Barrage. Just a... Oh! So I was going to go backwards, but ends up wiping that squad of conscripts on the LMG there. So amPredator also suffering a lot of casualties here. And it's a tough one because PPSH conscripts do rely on their variancy quite a lot. And building them is quite painful. Could go for some guards though, not a bad option at this stage. Does get the LMG with the conscripts. That is bad news for Mr. Blue Sky. Mr. Blue Sky also, after losing his tier 4 tick, in a tough spot.
Standing by. Send
Command Panther locking out his option for going for the King Tiger. So, I mean, personally, I think I would have put my tier 4 just in base around this exact spot. Try and avoid it dying in that kind of scenario. Sometimes I do put my tier 4 quite far forwards, and that will be generally when I get off to a good start and I get my tier 4 down very, very early. And I need the tier 4 protection to guard against the opponent's light vehicles. Other than that, I generally try to play it quite safe with my tier 4 positioning. Stu Barrage coming in, Flares guiding the way. Doesn't quite get the Maxim. Command Panther chasing in. Actually, Maxim ends up going down to the Pintle machine gun on it. Now amPredator getting the Katyusha in response.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Firing on the infantry support guns in the back line. A lot of health damage. Runs out of the heavy cover. Doesn't lose any models on his MG. Lucky break for Mr. Blue Sky. Katyusha, an okay pick, but I feel like another squad of infantry was necessary. He's a little bit lacking in the infantry, especially after losing the Maxim. And I think a nice squad of LMG guards would have been the play here. Takes a big shot. Stuka is at Vet 2 now, so can fire off those shots very rapidly. 37 kills. Most of them support crew members though. Oh, Panther finding an angle on the SU-85. Is this rotating? Oh, and the Raketin is there. SU-85 looking like it's going to go down here. No, Command Panther misses a shot. Raketin's pushed all the way forwards though. And come the planes. SU-85 does go down, but is this getting some big shots in response? Briefly stops to take care of the Raketin. Should be chasing in with the KV for the kill on the Command Panther here. Leaves the planes to take care of the Raketin. One shot from death. Two shot onto the double infantry support guns. A little bit deep though, scattering long. More does go down there. Command Panther actually getting some long range shots in. KV-1 backing away. There's SU-85 coming in, but amPredator has suffered some casualties. Really should have chased in after the Command Panther there. Oh, did they actually steal away the Raketin? That could be bad news for Mr. Blue Sky. A little bit of extra anti-tank, gonna keep that Command Panther in check. That's at Vet 4 though, by the way. A couple of lucky escapes. After, reinforcing everything, amPredator still doesn't have enough room in his composition for anything else.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Okay, he comes forward. S-35 and Zis nearby.
Enemy forces capturing supply
Trading
signals.
blows. Oh, amPredator, the one lacking in infantry after a few of those wipes and T-weapons going down to the walking Stuka. Also hasn't been that mobile with the Zis in the mid to late game. Just been parked in the middle.
Forces are attempting to capture our territory.
There we go. Katyusha gets a good barrage in.
We are losing.
Turn fire from the walking Stuka on the Katyusha and down it goes.
The enemy
That
has
amPredator hasn't been that good on the dodges so far this game either. Panther. KV in his sights. Oh, but the Raketin from the side is the difference maker, and down goes the Command Panther. Not all over though for Blue Sky, because he did knock out the Katyusha. If he didn't do that, I would say he'd be in a big bind, but we knocked out the Katyusha. He's still in this game. Pretty close to being able to call in another Command Panther, so still has plenty of fight left in him. Walking Stick almost ready to fire again, man. Pop the flares, looking for a juicy target, which is maybe going to be the repairing engineers here. Comes this time a dodge. Yeah, this time a dodge. Still actually ends up doing a lot of damage to both the vehicles, however. And Command Panther might go in for the kill. Might try to finish the job, the fresh one. KV's pretty well healed. And Zis and S-35 are there now. Oh, but they're bouncing. Everything's bouncing. KV just on perma repair here. Oh, but in comes the infantry, putting pressure on the Zis and the repairers. Command Panther manages to escape. And the double infantry support guns force away the combat engineers. Infantry just charging forwards. Suppression's starting to come online now from the base machine guns. Can we spot us? Faust on the S-35. A lot of repairs required now for both amPredator's vehicles. And Walking Stuka to follow this up. This could be nasty. Targeting the Raketin knocks it out completely. I was actually thinking maybe this Raketin should try creep up to the base and try and knock out the Command Panther repairing. Could be an idea, but at the moment, here we go. We've got some guards now. Good option. Being upgraded with the DPs. So at some stage the KV's probably going to have to get down here to the south to force this machine gun out of the building. But other than that, amPredator in a pretty good position. Still, army size is pretty similar though. That Walking Stuka has been paying off recently, getting some big hits and big wipes. Should be just about ready to fire again. But yeah, the infantry now is getting completely outscaled for Mr. Blue Sky. The PSH conscripts and the guards doing their job. Conscripts nearby could, you know, threaten the snare over here. They end up disengaging. This must be the target of this walking Stuka barrage. Oh, and he loses the vet from it as well. Oh, he's really leaning on that high vet to fight the Command Panther effectively. 35 ready to fight though. Oh, and he gets the first shot kill on the Command Panther there as well. He's 35 on the chase though. Command Panther popping the blitz. I think it just needs one more shot to go down. 35 stopping. Oh, and he misses the killing blow anyway.
Brave infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Did the squad go down over here? Squad conscripts? Yeah, go down. Too busy trying to micro. Maybe they go down to the pin quite quickly. Well, Panther's going to be out for repairs for quite some time. He's actually a very high level of variance here on Stern Pioneers, so maybe it won't be that long. VP still close to even for both these players. Another KV1. Fair enough. Does have access to the secure mode once they're there one, so you can use them to cap. Base barrage. I don't think he used the flares on that one, so just firing blind doesn't hit too much. 56 kills though for a 1v1. That's very impressive.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Also the infantry support gun, 34 kills. Bit 4. One Panther coming in. 35 is there though. Forcing it away. Raketen recruit could come in to support in this engagement. 35 slightly out of range, and here comes a squad from the side angle putting pressure on the Raketen. Guards though forcing them away. LMG Cons doing the damage in middle. 35 coming back in, getting some good hits on the Command Panther, forcing it away. And the guards end up wiping that squad. Late retreat, well, no retreat in fact. KV1 also doing the damage in the north, forcing squads away, opening up the capture. AmPredator a little bit lacking in capturing infantry at the moment, but capture is open. They'd even go for another squad of guards at this stage. Oh, he's going for a deep barrage into the base once again. Clears out the Raketen. Was he? I think he was on 56 before. Gets another 6 kills with that barrage. AV1 comes all the way forwards, putting pressure on the infantry support gun. What about the KV1 though? Its hull gun's quite weak compared to the T-34. Relies on hits from its main gun to do a lot of its anti-infantry work. Speaking of in the dirt, here's the conscripts and the guards. 35 doing some big hits. Just pumping away. At Vet 2 now with that penetration bonus, performing really nicely against the Command Panther. 35 being used very cautiously here though, needs to be brought up. Help for the fight. There it goes. Some ponies up here, no match. The LMG conscripts. lot of repairs required now for amPredator's vehicles. Oof. Stupid rush, I didn't even hear that one. Too many KV-1 engine noises. That is indeed a fresh squad of guards. I don't think he's got the munitions for the DPs yet though. SU-85 coming forward. It's not on focus side at the moment. Script's just going to lay in wait up here. They're so strong, you really need a squad, either like 3 squads to kind of overpower them honestly, or probably need 3, or his tank, which at the moment is almost constantly engaged in the middle, so real obstacle, Mr. Blue Sky, capturing this northern VP. Incendiary grenade, dodge. Another incendiary grenade. Another dodge. KV-1 heading up that way. Command Panther going for a wee bit of a base inspection here. Spots the SU-85 from an awkward angle. SU-85 worried about engaging here, but so anyway, here comes another walking stoop barrage, I believe. Pretty well dodged. SU-85 still chipping and chunking away. Command Panther trying to escape now. And does so. KV-1 not Vet 1, so can't capture this, unfortunately. Pulls back for repairs once again. Real tug of war here. Basically dead even on the VPs. I think amPredator's poised to break out. It's double KV-1s. Goes to the north again. Kills on their walking Stuka. It's been a good performer. Double KV-1s sitting in the middle. Command Panther returning to action. SU-85 Vet 3 now. Pops this one on secure mode. SU-85 pushing forwards. Just too much durability from these double KV-1s. No supporting anti-tank from Mr. Blue Sky. Oh, squad goes down now. SU-85 getting aggressive, chasing in. Stuka into the middle, gets some good damage done. But KV-1's wading into battle all the way to the base sector. Command Panther has nowhere to hide now. Ends up going down. He throws in the towel. Oh yeah, pretty good back and forth match. Mr. Blue Sky just feel like he made a critical error putting his tier 4 tech out here. Several times he's floating a little bit too much. Though in the late game he did, you know, keep his resources well under control, rebuilding squads once they'd been wiped and so on. Just never found the time though in the late game to put his tier 4 tech down, and ended up just getting overwhelmed by amPredator's vehicles. Just didn't have enough anti-tank to deal with this. Finally got overwhelmed, as well as the more elite infantry kind of outscaling his own infantry. So really needs his tier 4 tech down to get some of those extra tanks and the overs out so he can fight effectively in the late game. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you'd like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.